Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is doing great this morning. I feel so much better. I had the flu or something devious for a couple days anyway. Starting to feel a lot better. You always feel a lot better when you start eating again, right? I'm going to go through the chart. It's 9:07 and see what we've got going today. I'm going to start on the daily time frame. I'm looking at NQ because this is what I trade every day. So it looks like we are on the buy side of the curve, and here is the sell side of the curve, and then we had sort of this bottom back and forth price action, and now we seem to be on the buy side of the curve. So it kind of looks like this. Here's the sell side. Then we have the bottom where prices, doing a lot of back and forth over a number of days, and then we get this sort of breakout, which becomes the buy side. Here we go, something like this. So anyway, I just have this framework in mind that price may continue to move up. Of course, we had a big down day yesterday, and so far overnight, price is down. I still have a bit of a sore throat left over. Okay, so if we look strictly at the daily, we can see that here's our high, and let's see where our low is. Here's our low, our 2-candle low. We haven't moved down past that, so by my measurement, we are still bullish, even though it looks pretty bearish here. Also, if we take a look at this candle from Monday, we had a big push up on Monday. Price has come to just about the Sunday opening price. It might be just a tick or two lower than Sunday's opening price. This is something that I put on my chart every week. So when Sunday opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I always put that Sunday opening price on my chart, and I have it there for the week. It just provides me with a framework of where we opened and where price currently is. And here was our big down candle from yesterday. Okay, then moving to the 1 hour. I have marked on my chart my hourly fair value gaps, whether they be BISIs or SIBIs. I also have previous day low. Let's just go back here, make sure we have the right lows and highs. So I'm going to take this one off. So I have my previous day low Wednesday and previous day high Wednesday, and also Asia high is approximately the same as the previous day high. I have the daily volume imbalance on my chart, but I've removed it from the visibility from the minutes. I want to have it because at the end of the week, I like to be able to do a review and take a look and see the full course of where price went. So we won't be able to see it on the 15-minute, but it is still there on the daily. Okay, let's go down to, so I do have the fair value gaps on the 1 hour, and I have marked my 1 hour lows and my 1 hour highs. I have a strong buy side down here, and on my sell side would be the Asia high and previous day high from yesterday. Moving to the 15 minutes. I always put this on my chart because I find this quite interesting. Here, this horizontal line here is midnight, so that's when the first candle that opened at midnight, and here's my vertical midnight line. And so where those two intersect is so where the first candle opens. Let's see, we have the right one here. Yep, we have our first candle open there. That's our midnight open. And I find it interesting. I've been doing this for about 6 or 7 months now. And what's interesting is that when price overnight remains below midnight, we can expect that price during the day will move up and above midnight, this horizontal line. And when price through the night session, London and Asia session, are mostly above midnight, and we can anticipate price to drop down in the New York AM session. Be interesting if you tracked it as well, and I would appreciate your feedback on that. But it's something that I've noticed, and I first heard about this from the trader called Mulham Trading, and I believe he lives in London and trades the London and Asia session, and I learned how to trade London and Asia session from him. He has an excellent website. I'll just put his name up here for a second. Mulham Trading. So I'll just give a shout out to him. He has an excellent YouTube channel. He's a great mentor, and his specialty is London and Asia. So you can check him out when you get a chance. All right, so on the 15 minute, this is what is left of the org from Monday. We had a very large org on Monday, and yesterday after price moved down, this is what is left of the org. So I've removed the upper portion of the org that price has traded through because it's no longer relevant. So we still have a little bit of org to go. I'm going to just put my new day opening gaps and new week opening gaps on the chart now. We still have new day opening gap from March 20th down here. That is a draw, certainly for price. We also noticed that price is currently in a new day opening gap from March the 26th and the 23rd. And then above us, we have new week opening gap, but it's pretty far up. I'm not really concerned about that right this moment. Asia ranged last night. Asia trended last night versus ranging. Ranging is when we have a clear range, a high and low, and Asia stays within that range. But last night, Asia trended. We had a trending evening. Price stayed approximately the same, even just a tad below Asia. And then price fell. So this could be manipulation here. What time is this? 4 o'clock. Manipulation happens after 1:30. So manipulation does not happen before 1:30. And again, I'll reference Mulham in his teachings of that statement. Price came back up in pre-market and then dropped down again, but has not broken the low from this morning. So now we're just getting some chatter back and forth here. We don't even really have an order block. You can see we have a lot of chatter in here, just a lot of back and forth, a lot of wicks, no fair value gaps. Now ICT does say that when we have a day that has a big price movement, the next morning typically is not a great morning to trade. So I'm keeping that in mind, that this morning may just be a tape reading morning. And so ICT says that the afternoon session, the 2 p.m. session, perhaps has better opportunities or more opportunities. So I'll keep that one in mind for this morning. All right, so let's take a look at ES. Actually, I noticed that one of my indicators is missing, and I'm just gonna quickly grab it. My SMT divergences. And sometimes when it bounces off my chart, does this happen to you guys sometimes? You log in and sometimes things bounce off your chart. Anyway, I just want to check the settings because sometimes the settings change. Yeah, I can see here already that the settings are wrong. If I can get this silly thing to open up. There we go. So I just want to make sure that both my NQ settings for the most recent contracts are up to date. So I'm just going to choose June. And then in this one, I'm going to choose ES, futures. And make sure that I have my June 1 selected. Click OK, and we're back in business. Good morning, VPGM. Good morning. Thank you. I feel like substantially better. Thank you for your well wishes. Good morning, Trina. Nice to see you again. Thank you. Nice to see you, Trina. So just looking at my list of stocks, I can see it's quite red across the board. So. Okay, so that's where we are. So let's take a look at ES. I'm just going to expand this, make it a little bigger so we can take a look at the higher time frames and get some sell side up here, buy side. Let's just start with the daily. Okay, so same thing. We're seeing the same formation here. So we have price came down, this long leg down here. So this is our sell side. This is our sell side of the framework, and we are currently on the buy side of the curve. Okay, so even though yesterday we had quite a drop, and even though last night we had a price drop, my framework remains bullish. And I'm just going to take this out because I just want to update everything here. I use the two candle method to show my highs and lows on a chart, and this is a method that I learned from trader TJR. I'll just put his name up here. Trader TJR. He's a great trader. He's a great trader. He's 22 years old, multi-millionaire with about 500,000 followers. He's very, well, he's very descriptive, you know, so he can be rude. I'm just going to say it. He can be like really rude in his YouTube channel, but I think he's a great trader. And so I follow him and I've learned a ton from him. So you can check him out, but I'm just giving you like a heads up. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked at, you know, the way he presents or his language. Like, he's just got a really crude sense of humor, and you either appreciate it and laugh with him, or you will be offended and you won't want to listen to him. But anyway, I'm just giving you the heads up. Don't play his videos if you've got kids in the room, because that would, yeah, be totally inappropriate. So what I learned from TJR is how to use the 2-candle method to mark your highs and lows. So his 2-candle method is a high and a low. This would give you your high here. Actually, this would be your high. So this is my high on the daily time frame, and then the low is a candle down and a candle up. So a candle down and a candle up. This would be my low on the daily. And the candles have to be in opposite colors. So it has to be a green up and a black down, or a black down and a green up. So this would give me my low, this gives me my high. And until this low is broken by a straight candle down, then we continue to be bullish on the daily time frame. So I'm just sharing this, and if you want to see that video of his, you can go back in my live stream, and I've put his name in the title of one of my videos, and you can click on that video and watch it. And I've put a timestamp to his explanation. Anyway, I have adopted this because it's way more accurate than anything that I've ever used before. He also talks about break of structure in a different format. So anyway, there you go. So that's my high and my low. That's why I still remain bullish. And you can see again that we have the buy side of the curve and the sell side of the curve, and now we're on the buy side of the curve. So I'm gonna just pop down to the hourly chart. It's 9:24, so let's just finish this up kind of quickly here. Extend these to the right. So on my hourly, I like to put in my fair value gaps on the hourly time frame. Okay, this is my SIBI. And another SIBI here. Extend these right. And my buy side is here. Buy side on the hourly is up here. That's my higher time frame. And then for my sell side on the hourly is down here. So I put H for hourly so that when I'm on the smaller time frames, I know where I am in the bigger scheme of things. Okay, now I'm going to go down just to the smaller time frame. I'm going to go down to the minute time frame. And I'm going to look for my buy side and sell side on the 1 minute. So you can see, right, it's much different when you're looking for the buy side and the sell side on the higher time frames, right? Because there they are on the higher time frames. And here's our 9:30 open. We have no news today, or no red folder news, I should say, to be exact. Is there no audio? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, hang on a second. Jeez. Okay. Oh my God. It's like sitting here talking away to myself. All right then. So I'll just take TJR off the chart for the moment. Hey, good morning, Matthew. Thank you. Kayla. No, La Cakes. That's such a clever name. Okay, so let's just take a look at the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute time frame. Here's my buy side on the 1 minute and sell side. Kind of looking at this area down here. We've also taken out liquidity here. And it looks like we already have one candle up. So this is kind of interesting. So here's the sell side on the 1 minute. Okay, so that's ES. All right, so a gentle reminder that ICT does message to us that when price has a big movement the day before, that we can anticipate that the following morning that price action can be pretty sticky, and that it can be better to wait until the afternoon to look for a trade. And so I've just kind of got his words in the back of my mind. And so I think we should probably all keep that in the back of our minds. So let's go down to the 1 minute. Market has opened. This orange mass here is the remainder of the opening range gap from Monday. Here's our settlement price from yesterday. And we just draw this down to opening price. So it's my opening range gap from this morning. Price is moving up already. So we've swept London low, and price is moving up. So early this morning, price dropped below Sunday opening price at 6 p.m. Okay, so here's our opening range gap for today, and here is the remainder of the opening range gap from Monday. Interesting new day opening gap down here from March 20th. It could be if price wants to drop lower before going higher today. Here's our midnight up here. Thanks, read this. I appreciate it. You gave me gave me a heart attack. Although everything on my side looks okay, but you never know. I appreciate the heads up so that we could ask everyone for feedback on audio this morning. I changed my settings on my mic, so I'm hoping that audio is a little clearer with less background noise. So maybe if you guys could provide some feedback, that would be helpful for me. So just as we sit here and watch price for now, let me just also add in Scarface 5-minute strategy. So let's see, here's our first candle. So I'm going to move this over and let's add our 5-minute high up here. Minute high. And then this is going to be our 5-minute low somewhere down here. So here's our first candle. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more candle to go. Can you guys drop in the comments, number 1, if you happen to watch ICT's video that he made and dropped on Saturday, March 23rd, so last Saturday. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you guys watched that video. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. But I'm just curious because if you didn't watch it, then I'm going to share a slide with some notes that I took on timing. Because as you know, ICT is based on the premise of time first and price second. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's do this. Drop a 2 in the chat if you for sure did not watch his video on Saturday, March 23rd. The video was about, I don't know, an hour and 20 minutes. Like, it was a long one. So maybe you guys have a life and you were busy out with family and friends and stuff and just didn't get a chance to watch it. So read this, you read that, okay? You watched that, okay. So I'm assuming everybody else may have missed that video. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got our... Okay, so after we just get through the opening here, I'm going to share a slide with you of some notes that I took. ICT said that that is his most comprehensive video that he's dropped on time. So he put he discussed every time frame, what's important, what to look for. So I'm going to share that slide with you guys once we're just past this open here, and you can feel free to take a screenshot of it. You can watch the video and just compare my notes against what you listened to on the video. And if you don't have time to watch the video, then you can take my word for it or not. You shouldn't. You should, probably make sure it's accurate. But, I don't always get everything right. So, but anyway, it's just kind of a really nice reminder of every time frame, what to look for, what to mark up. And he talked about using the fib as a confluence on the opening range, so between 9:30 and 10 a.m. to take your fib and basically to measure above and below that area, because price, there's a high degree of accuracy that price will run to -1, +1, or even 1.5 standard deviation in either direction. But he dropped a lot of great knowledge in that video. So anyway, I'll put that up after. I just want to watch this for now. Price might run for this new day opening gap here. I want price to displace a little more below, then come back to this 5-minute low. I'm still working on getting this strategy like a little more accurate for me. It takes a while, like it takes at least 6 months of working on a strategy, to become even subtly good at it. Like it's a minimum of 6 months. So I've noticed that if I just wait a little bit longer, because if I jump in too soon on the trade here and I don't allow the real displacement to occur and then the retest, so I notice if I just exercise a little more patience, that I have greater success with this strategy. So this up here, this is not like a sell limit order for up here. I don't want to confuse anyone. And also just a reminder, I know you guys are tired of me saying this, but it's not a signal service. I'm an ICT student. Don't copy my trades because you should just rely on your own good judgment. Okay, let's see if we get a retest. I'm also mindful that, there's a 70% chance that between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, price can run up to the 50% of this. I guess this wick, I guess we could say that we've already taken out the 50% of this. But I am overall bullish. So price came up, it's dropped down. Here's our 5-minute low. Here's our London low. So, price has swept below London low. So if price is to move down, it could come to the new day opening gap, but it could also reverse and move up. So I'm talking out loud here. These are the things that run through my mind. This is the chatter in my mind. Let's take a look on the 5-minute here. I'm just looking for the 5-minute break of structure, either to the downside or the upside. I have a 1-hour low down here at 19,814, but that's pretty far south, but I try my best to be as mechanical as possible with this 5-minute candle strategy, Scarface candle strategy, because it is a very mechanical, repeatable strategy, and that's the premise of his entire trading model. So I try not to cloud my judgment with thoughts of, okay, we're on the buy side of the curve. And, I have all these sort of competing things. I try and be, with this strategy, just very black and white about it. What I'm saying is I try not to overanalyze when it comes to a mechanical strategy. I just, if this, then this, right? So if price comes back, retests, and then we see a black candle start to come down, that is the trigger for entry. I try not to overthink that in this particular strategy. So I find with ICT strategies, I have a little more gray area, because a lot of his strategies are not highly mechanical. Like there's some judgment. There's quite a bit of judgment when it comes to his strategies. So we've had some displacement. If there's a retest and then a rejection, that's what I would be looking for. But price could, just move up and continue going straight up. It's hard to know. That's why we're watching this together. And I want to see the candle close. See, waiting for that candle closure is just really important because it's quite bullish, right? So that saved me from taking a trade that I would have been stopped out with. It's 9:46. Just gonna zip to the 5-minute for a second. So here's my 2-candle low. And then my high, my 5-minute high is up here. It's a 2-candle method. just not in a rush to jump on this because it's ambiguous to me, right? These are doji candles. It could go higher, it could go lower. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'll just sit and wait a little bit longer. It's only 9:48. 950 macro hasn't even started yet. Now I have this 5-minute break of structure down here. I'm mindful of my midnight above midnight, and price has been below midnight pretty much all evening. So again, I'm bullish on the higher time frame. I have my midnight threshold up here, and we've swept below London, right? We've come down, we've swept London. So overall, I'm going to, so price bounced off March 20th, new day opening gap, March 20th, new day opening gap, and 12 a.m. March 18th. There we go, price is moving higher. You know, it's never going to be one or two things that you have to keep in mind when it comes to determining where's price likely to go next, right? It has to have a reason for moving, and we have to look at all the clues, right? Not just one or two things. Like, we need to have a number of confluences that line up that give us reason to support where price would want to go to. So we swept London. Here's my 5-minute break of structure. I just want to go back. Yep, here's my 5-minute break of structure. So I need to break above this 5-minute break of structure here before I would consider going long. And that's just my method. I'm just explaining that to you guys. And again, this is TJR's 5-minute break of strategy that he discusses as his main strategy. So if we just look at currently what we have here, we've got an order block right here. Right, and in order to have an order block, we need price to tap into liquidity, and then it is in this situation, the two down close candles that precede the up close candle, and the up close candle has to close above your two down close candles, which are here. Again, I'm going back to my 5-minute because that's my baseline. Thank you, read this. So yeah, a rejection off the opening range gap, today's opening range gap. Now we have filled it pretty much up to the 50%. If I just draw a fib to 952. So let's just throw a fib on this. Yeah, we went right to the 50%, literally to the tick. As ICT says, by accident? I think not. What we do have in here, read this, is let's put on here our opening range gap. First presented opening range gap, which is here. This is a SIBI. First presented opening range gap. Or sorry, fair value gap. What am I talking about? First presented fair value gap. And we'll keep this on all day. And we have a BISI here. Price has tapped into it, moving up, so it's supporting. Yeah, that's a move up. Okay, let's see if we get above my 5-minute break of structure. Yeah, this is still current. I'm going to just take this off. I just want to clean up my chart a little bit. This opening range gap from this morning, I am going to move this up because we've filled it up to here. So this is the unused portion. So just cleaning up my chart a little bit. I have another BISI here. Okay, if this candle closes above my 5-minute break of structure, that's significant for me. And we also have our 5-minute high from Scarface's strategy. So here's my 5-minute break of structure right here, and I need to have this, I would want to have this candle close above it. Right now it's wicked above it. We still have 3 minutes and 44 seconds on this 5-minute candle, but this is what I'm looking for. This is my threshold. And again, you can check out TJR's strategy by going to my live videos, and you'll see in the heading that I have his video that talks about his strategy and using 2 candles to mark a high and a low, if you're interested in that. Let's see if it taps back into this fair value gap. It's hesitating at this 5-minute break of structure here. It's going to punish me again. Okay, take profit. I didn't have time to move my take profit, but I like when that happens. Just take a look at where that ended up. That's too bad. Okay, so it's breaking over my 5-minute break of structure, which is something that I look for. Let's take a look. Hasn't closed yet. I still need it to close, but that's my trigger to go long. Still has not broken. This candle has 4 minutes and 16 seconds. It has to close above the 5-minute. Then I would look for an entry to go long, according to TJR's strategy. I'm not suggesting anybody here do it. I'm just explaining what I'm looking for. So that was my loss. So 20,079 in at, and then out at 20,093. So 80, 90, 13 points. So it's really hesitating here, but do we have that 5-minute break of structure yet? Nope. So just while price is figuring out what it wants to do, I'm just going to share this with you. This is the slide that I said I made notes from ICT's Saturday. Let me move this over. From the video, from his Saturday video, and this is the link to the video. You can take a screenshot of this as you want, but he describes this as his most detailed lecture on timing, algorithmic timing and journaling. So here I have just listed all the times that, you know, he says these are the times that that are the most significant in his ICT strategies. So these are the pre-market kill zones, opening range, look for the first presented fair value gap and standard deviation, New York kill zone, the lunch macro, the opening range, the New York PM kill zone, PM macro, and then he talks about, for the first time, MOC, which is murder on close. So expect rocket fuel to explode at this time at 3:50. And this is all Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, feel free to take a screenshot of that. But check out his Saturday video because he focuses a lot on what time frames are significant. So just using his Let's just take our fib and measure from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. It's 10:03, so let's just take the range from 9:30 to 10 a.m. roughly, and then we're going to take standard deviation. And according to him, so standard deviation, here's our -1. So he said you can expect price to go in either direction. So here's our -1 up here, standard deviation. And then conversely, you could do the same for the other side of the range, right? So you could take it, move it down to here, and then here's your -1 standard deviation to the downside. And it could be 1.5. You know, he's not saying it's 1, he's saying at least 1. And so what I would do, something like this is I'm looking for other PD arrays that coincide with these levels. So let's just look on like maybe the 15 minutes. So here's our standard 1 deviation. Do we have a fair value gap? Yes, we do have a fair value gap here. We have a SIBI. Conversely, we look to the downside. Here's our negative standard 1 deviation. It's just below this area, this heavily trafficked area here, which I have marked as my 1 hour low. So anyway, that's he discusses that in the video. So if you have a chance, his video is you know, worth the hour and 20 minutes, I think that. So we'll just keep those levels on the chart just for now, just out of curiosity. So price here is really just, you know, it looks like it wants to go up. It's just hesitating here. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Have we broken above yet? We still haven't broken and stayed above this 5 minute high here. So we see this is the candle here, my up green candle and my down black candle. So this is my 5 minute break of structure. Price has not broken above, nor has it stayed above. So we can see here that, you know, price is struggling. Price is really struggling. It's weak. We can take our fib and take the low to the high, and we can also use our fib to look for the optimal trade entry. So a pullback would be to the 62 to 79% area, which is, you know, like right here. Optimal trade entry. So if price were to retrace, you know, this area here would be an area of interest, a point of interest. Look at that. Look at these. You know, again, ICT's voice is in my head saying the morning after a big run up from the day before, price can be finicky in the morning. It might just be best to look for an afternoon trade. And certainly we've got weakness in price here. I'm going to take all these fibs off so that we don't have to look at that. Look at this chatter in here on the 1 minute. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. So all we're really doing right now is looking to see if price respects or disrespects the PD arrays. So does this fair value gap hold price, or will price shoot through it? and then it becomes an inverted fair value gap. Does price want to come back? Just move this over here. Does price want to come back and revisit the order block? Is price interested in coming back to the optimal trade entry area? So that's all we're doing, is we're looking for PD arrays to show us signs of whether price is holding or disrespecting the PD arrays. Just basically looking for clues. So here again is this is my 5-minute low, and if price is going to go lower, according to TJR strategy, it has to break below this 5-minute low, or it has to break above this 5-minute high, which it has failed to do 3 times. So for now, there's nothing for me to do except sit tight and wait for price to tell us, show us its hand in terms of where it wants to go. And if it's simply going to move up and down, up and down, up and down, then I'm quite happy to wait and see if the afternoon presents a better opportunity. Hey, Tandy. Good morning. Good morning, Tandy from Mozambique. Is the sun shining there this morning? Here's our first presented fair value gap. And we have used up this fair value gap. Monday's fair value gap has been completely used. Came down, we have used this gap now, so I'm going to remove that. Good morning, Gonzalo. Good morning to you, mister. We're watching price bounce around here. We were just discussing that ICT, describes the morning after price has had a long run, which price had a long run yesterday. And, so he discusses the fact that price the following morning may not really choose a definitive direction. Price may consolidate or, paint and repaint. So we were just discussing that, and that it may be, there may be a better opportunity this afternoon to look for a trade, but it's only 10:12. Morning is still young, so we've got our order block down here. We've got a couple of bissies from price movement up, and we've got our optional trade entry area, which is 62 to 79% of this leg run up here. This is our opening range gap from this morning, and we have filled up to approximately here, so I'm just going to remove the area that we have filled. Okay, let's see on the 5 minute if we've broken above here. Not yet. See, it's rejected 1, 2, 3 times. We're on our fourth candle here to see if we can break above this 5 minutes, 5 minute high. Long wicks to the downside as well. So very wicky, you know, this is the kind of price action that just wants to take out your stops. So price is not able to get above the settlement price from yesterday afternoon. So we are, you know, we're still below that. We are above Sunday's opening price. And we are above yesterday's low. Here's our first presented fair value gap from this morning. Yes, a price just closed above this 5 minute high. And price had come all the way back down to retap into this first presented fair value gap. Here's our standard deviation of 1 from the opening range. So opening range is different than opening range gap. Opening range is price range between 9:30 and 10 a.m. So it's the first half hour of the day. And ICT discusses in his video from Saturday to run a standard deviation off that time frame, 9:30 to 10 a.m. in both directions, and use that as kind of like a target area. So here's my negative standard deviation to the downside. And yesterday, price, I was watching price and it went just below the -1 standard deviation. Actually, I think it went to -1.5. So this is kind of an interesting metric that I'm following since having watched ICT's video on Saturday. So -1 standard deviation of opening range. Oh, you got stomped out twice in London? Yeah, so Tandy, I was awake last night, so I was just watching London, but Asia did not range. Asia trended, and when Asia trends, which means like it moves from a start position to an end position, so when it trends like that, that is not a good thing. We want Asia to range. We want Asia to have like, it has to stay between, you know, a high and a low that we can really see nicely. And that's when London gives us like a nice opportunity to trade from. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's just quickly take a look at that on the 5 minute so you guys can see what I'm saying here. Let me just move ES out of the way. So you see how Asia trended last night? Here was its start position and then it just meandered up. This is Asia trending. We want Asia to range. So we want Asia to look like this, right? Because what happens then when Asia does this ranging business is it is engineering liquidity above and below. And then you get the nice runs from London. But what happened with London last night, because Asia trended, is London never did take Asia's high. It came close to it, but didn't. And then the actual movement from London was, well, it was weak at best, right? And then price pre-market, or price New York open came down. We've swept London. But price is really failing right here. So I've got ICT's words kind of running through my head that the morning after a good long run by price, that price can be lackluster and not really have like a definitive direction, that it's best just to sit on your hands. I mean, it's only 10:19, so, you know, I'm open-minded, but anyway, that's just something to consider. Yeah, Tandy, it's really frustrating. But London didn't give you much last night. I was watching it, but when I saw that Asia had trended, that's when we're not gonna get much. You can, if you haven't visited Mulham's site yet, he's a YouTuber that trades London. I learned to trade London and Asia from him, mostly London, but he talks a lot about Asia, and he discusses exactly that we want to see Asia do what it's supposed to do, which is to range, not trend. So you can check him out, Mulham Trading. Oh, thanks, XMT89. I appreciate that. I'm feeling like a lot better. So guys, for those of you that just joined us, I was asking everyone a little bit earlier if you guys had seen the video from ICT that dropped on Saturday, March, I think it was the 23rd. It was a long video. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, but he dropped some really, really just gold nuggets. And he, in his own words, he said it was the most comprehensive video that he did in terms of discussing time ranges. Oh, you follow Mulham, Tandy? Okay, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I put together this, well, I take notes when I watch ICT, but I put together a PowerPoint, and if you want to take a screenshot of this, so this is, Saturday, March 22nd, and it's entitled Algorithmic Times, and ICT says it's the most detailed lecture by ICT on time. And this is the link to his video. And what I've done here is I've detailed all of the time frames that he discusses and what to look for in each. So you've got the macros on the, 10 minutes before each hour, 10 minutes after. He talks about the pre-market kill zone, which is from 7 to 9 a.m. He talks about the 9:30 to 10 a.m. opening range, mark the first presented fair value gap, and then mark the standard deviation, which is what we've done here this morning. Then he talks about the 10 to 11 a.m. New York kill zone, 11:30 to 1:30 lunch macro, expect a reversal, opening range between 1:30 and 2, and he again brings it to our attention to mark the first presented fair value gap in the afternoon range and do the standard deviation again. So there's a morning procedure for that, and then there's an afternoon procedure for that. Then there's the 2 to 3 p.m. New York kill zone, the 3:15 to 3:45 p.m. macro, and this is a new one for me. 3:50, expect rocket fuel to explode at this time, and he calls it MOC, murder on close. So MOC for future reference. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, go ahead. Definitely watch the video because he discusses a lot more. I think I have 6 or 7 videos that or PowerPoint slides that I made from that video. Like, he dropped some really, really good information that I have never heard before. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention if you had not seen that video yet. Yeah, Gonzalo, it was a great video, right? Yeah. I like the fact that he sets up kind of like the morning and the afternoon separately, looking for that first fair value gap, looking for the standard deviation, the possible move to the upside or the downside. He almost, I guess he treats them basically as separate sessions, in fact. Also, guys, I dropped my first video yesterday that is like not live streaming. It's just like a talking video, and it's taken me like a long time to make a video because I've been procrastinating because I'm an introvert and a bit of a perfectionist, and in my mind, like, I want my videos perfect, but that's never going to happen. So if you haven't visited that, if you would just like show me some love by liking, subscribing, and sharing, I would appreciate that, because if I get some positive feedback, I'm going to continue making videos because I have lots of things that I want to share with you guys. And I just want to be super upfront that I have zero interest in becoming a successful YouTuber. That has never been my goal or dream. In fact, my family would probably die if they knew I was a content creator. They have no idea. But I'm doing it because it's helping me in my trading journey. And I have really benefited from a lot of traders making their YouTube videos. Like, I've just learned so much from, Mulham and TJR and Scarface and ICT. And I think it's kind of nice to share and give back on journeys. My focus 100,000% is on becoming the best trader that I can be. And so I'm not going to ever be that person with making professional videos and hiring people to film and stuff. Like, that's just not where I'm at. And I've watched so many videos by so many traders that I'm a great resource for if somebody needs, some further understanding on topic A, B, or C. I'm the person who can suggest some videos to watch of traders that I have followed and watched their videos. That's kind of like, I think, where I can bring some value. I have no intention of making another video on, Silver Bullet, because there's just so many great ones already. Why would I want to do that? So anyway, but I do have some thoughts on trading, and I do want to share my journey, and if it can help anyone else. And one day after I leave this earth, maybe my kids will watch one of my videos, which I think would be hilarious. It'd be like me haunting them for life. Look at this, rejection after rejection after rejection on the 5-minute. Price is going nowhere. Thanks, Gonzalo. I think it's nice to share. Like I say, I have benefited to the max from other YouTubers who have shared their stories and journeys. And sometimes you just need to hear like a great success story, right? Like, sometimes you just have those trading days or weeks where you're feeling like, is this ever going to come together? And then, one of your YouTube favorites drops a video where they buy, like $100,000 car or something. And you're like, yeah, this, what? I'm going to get there. YouTube problems, so many videos. Yeah, so many strategies, so many holy grails. Yeah, I agree. 5 Ferraris in Dubai. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no Ferrari in my future anytime soon. But there might be, I think there will be, over time, a 911 Porsche. I'm just putting that out there. Believe me, I'll be filming that the day I get my Porsche. It's there, like mentally I'm there. Mentally I can see it. But obviously, I'm not there with my trading yet, but I can see it. I can visualize it. I really have no interest in Ferraris, but maybe to rent a Ferrari for like a month or something could be fun. I just have no interest in buying one. It's not really the 911 Porsche is like a sweet car. I see myself in a 911, and I see my dog in the 911 with me. Yeah, Tandy, it's likely, like I say, I think price is going to go up. That's just my like humble opinion because we're below midnight, right? Like if you look at Asia and London, we were below midnight literally all night, which means the price is going to push higher, which generally means price is going to push above midnight. That's what I'm expecting, but I'm just not going to engage with this because it's just having trouble staying above the 5 minute break of structure. So, and you know, the time is 10:29. I think I'm just gonna, you know, let price jumble around here for a bit, and then I'm gonna come back at 1 o'clock, see if price makes it up to the -1 standard deviation as per ICT. That would be interesting for me to watch. We also have this 1 hour SIBI here. This is previous week high. I think we're going to move above midnight, but I'm just not engaging in this because the wicks are going to take out any stops that I might put in. So that's the last of Wednesday's gap done, so I'm going to remove that. Here's my 5 minute break of structure to the upside. Just putting this in a little prematurely, but I've got my eye up here. Gonna break above midnight. So we're just above the settlement price from yesterday afternoon at 414. And immediately price just showing weakness again. Well, price has moved up, but it's been a difficult move up. What do we have here? Do we have any breakers? No. XMT, thank you. Thank you so much. I am, like, you guys don't know me, but I am incredibly introverted. And so I have spent like months wanting to do a video. It's taken me that long. But now that I have like broken the barrier and thrown that video up, and I'm going to make more because I have lots and lots of ideas of things that I want to share. But again, my focus is not marketing. My focus is not becoming a YouTube sensation and driving a Lamborghini. I want to be an excellent trader, and that is what I'm at. That's my goal. I have things to do in life. I want to drive my 911. I want to buy a place in Italy, and I want to trade and travel from every country. That is what I'm after. Like, that's, I gotta tell you, it's no more complicated than that. That's what I want to do. I love travel. And that's one of the big reasons that I got into trading, is that I want to be able to, make money in any country in the world. As long as I have an internet, a high-speed internet connection, that's all I want and all I need. I want to be a complete nomad. Let's see if price can tap back into this. And if you guys have not seen the Netflix series written, directed, and starred in by Eugene and Dan Levy, oh my God, Do yourselves a favor. If you want a good laugh, like, I mean, you'll laugh so hard you'll cry. It is, I think it was Dan Levy's first major award that he's won, because he wrote it. This was his first major project, and I think his dad kind of helped him out, but it's in essence Dan Levy's major project. Yeah, that's financial freedom, right, Gonzalo? I 100% agree. All you want or need is either a phone, a laptop, and high-speed internet, and then you can literally travel the world. And have that kind of freedom. That is real freedom. Oh my gosh, this price is like painful here. Let's just take a step back and look on the 5-minute. Look at these wicks. Oh my gosh. That's crazyville, right? And if we look on the 15-minute, this nice push up here. But again, look at these wicks. They're coming all the way back to 50% of these long candles. Like right back to the consequent encroachment. This is just tough. This is tough trading. Anyway, I've said my piece. I'm not getting involved in this, but I'm curious to see if price, it's a long way up, 1 standard deviation up here, would have to get through the hourly SIBI. It would need a lot more gasoline in the tank and a match to make this thing rocket. Maybe everybody can throw in the chat what your favorite country is, either that you've lived in, that you've traveled to, or even a country that you want to go to. What's on your radar, guys? Well, true to ICT's words and his sound advice, how can you beat 30 years of experience when it comes to ICT, And he says the day after price has a major move, the following morning is not going to be great conditions for trading. And he's right this morning. It's exactly what we're seeing. Australia? Yeah, that would be very cool. I would love to go to Australia. I think my next country is going to be Greece. I haven't been to Greece yet. I love Europe. I've been to like a number of different countries throughout Europe, but I have not been to Greece yet. So I think Greece is next on my agenda. And when I'm in Greece, I've already checked. They have e-scooter rentals over there, because when I'm in Greece, like I'm going to go to the different islands, and a great way to see, cover a lot of, I guess, distance is on an electric scooter. Which, by the way, yesterday I got my electric scooter all ready for the spring weather. We have snow. We just got snow last night, so it's not going to be this week. But I bought this thing to, you guys probably know what this is, but I didn't know such a thing existed. But it's like this electric battery thing that automatically pumps up your tires. Like you set what your PSI should be, and then you put it on your tube thing, and then you press start, and it inflates your tires to exactly 55 PSI. It's very cool. Target to the Asia high. Well, it could sweep Asia high. I mean, Asia high hasn't really been swept. Just looking at the candles here. Okay, so let's look at the high of Asia. So the high of Asia is 2147.75. And then this high is 2144. This one is 2147. So Asia has not been swept by like 3 points. And there you go. That's a nice push to the upside. So let's see, maybe it gets a standard 1 deviation. So now we're above midnight, as I said, right? So pre-market or London Asia, when most of the price is below the midnight, we can expect that price will move up above midnight. So just watch for that, guys. Put it on your charts and just, you don't have to take my word for it. You can just back test it, look at it. And when price in Asia and London is above midnight, we can expect that New York AM open price will come down below midnight. It's just something for you to put on your charts. Watch. So I'm going to take off the OTE. So XMT, you're saying that you've noticed the 850, 910 macro is the best time to trade the day after a large range day. After 9:30, it can get very sloppy. YM gave a beautiful setup this morning. Okay, so that's really interesting, XMT. I'm going to watch for that. I like to trade the 7 to 9 if there is 8:30 news. Do you guys ever look for a pre-market setup if there's, 8:30 news, or, sometimes you get that 10 a.m. news, which is like right in the middle of where you want to be trading. And then I find like the 7 to 9 a.m. is a good time to look for a trade. So let's go back to the 1 minute here. Does price want to continue pushing higher? Maybe possibly going for this hourly, maybe this negative standard one. That's a +1 standard deviation. Or now that it's swept Asia, swept London, will price start to show some weakness? So here, this 5 minute break of structure to the upside. This is a really good metric. I have been using the 5 minute break of structure, I guess, since last October, November. And this is just a nice little tip that I got from TJR, trader TJR. And since I've been using the 5 minute break of structure, not only is it accurate, but there's less opportunity for price on the 1 minute break of structure to totally fool you. Because that 1 minute break of structure, I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, really carries very little weight. So here we had a nice, finally, break above the 5 minute break of structure. And if price hadn't been so dramatic, fussy this morning, I probably would have taken the trade long on this fair value gap. So it's 10:42. We're going to be coming up to the 10:50 macro shortly. Let's see if that macro can push price either to this hourly SIBI or even this standard deviation. And again, this standard deviation was measured from the opening range, which is between 9:30 and 10 a.m. I want to take a look at what other PD arrays are in this area of this -1 standard deviation. We have a 15-minute SIBI. And then we have this hourly SIBI. So I'm not gonna keep both on there. I'm gonna keep the hourly on there. Here's our standard deviation to the downside. It's 10:45, so we're going to have the macro start in 5 minutes. We'll probably get more of a push up. ICT always says that the macro will help push price in a continuation to an area of interest that it already wants to go to. So if we use that analogy, it means the macro might help to push price to the standard deviation here. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see if price could even make it to the new day and new week opening gaps, which are up here. But we're at 2162 and that's 2348. That's another 150 points. $21.90. So Gonzalo, you're looking at the 2190 area here. Are you saying that it's full of liquidity because of this wick? So you're thinking that just above that wick there's a lot of liquidity? Is that what you're thinking? This is the 15-minute. Let's go down to the 5-minute. Oh, here we go. I see what you're saying, yeah. So this is a high traffic area, yeah. There were lots of buy stops, sell stops here that were taken. So, yeah. But you see how it's tapped into the hourly here? This is an hourly SIBI. And price in this area tapped in. So, like, I'm thinking that the consequent encroachment of this SIBI may be an area that price goes for because of lots of liquidity up there. Oh, that's cool. You print the volume profile of the week. Okay, that's super cool. ICT used to do that too. Remember, did you ever listen to his videos where he talks about how back in the day, he's funny, back in the day, when they didn't even have computers, they used to print the weekly and daily volumes, and then they'd go home and mark out their charts. But it's really nice to kind of have that look, isn't it? To have that like zoomed out perspective. So we're showing some weakness here. So we're on the 5-minute. We've got 3 rejections at previous week high. So previous week high we are rejecting from. Let's go down to the lower time frames here. Previous week high rejection. How many times have we rejected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the 1 minute. So that's an interesting area. Let's see if this BISI holds. It's 10:49. Macro is going to start in 1 minute. Will price bounce off this and continue moving up, or will we see a retracement? Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. XMT right here. See this line here? Let me just make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. This is previous week high. This green thing right here. For me, for reversal, my signature trade is the unicorn, and I would want to see like a really strong breaker block, right? I would want to see, so we have high, low, higher high, lower low, come back into the breaker, and then down. That is what I would be looking for. That's an ICT unicorn. That is my bread and butter trades. This is the high. I like to see a body make a higher high. We've only had a wick here, but it's an interesting area. I would want to come back and see another retest. It's 10:51, so the macro has started. Let's see if we get a push up, or if this becomes an inverted fair value gap. Price is going to push up. Let's see if we break above previous week high. If this price has got the energy to do that. My dog is snoring like an old man under my desk. If you guys hear like some pretty heavy snoring, it's my dog. Looks like this BISI is holding. Let's see if we can run this previous week high and look to target this hourly SIBI up here. And I've put Gonzalo's area of interest up here in this purple line. You're on my chart, Gonzalo. I'm curious too, based on the premise that there's a lot of liquidity here, based on that framework. Big rejection wick off the top of that. But we are in the macro now, so I vote we're going to push up. And for those who follow Scarface's break and retest, we would want to see price come back down to the previous week high and then form a nice strong candle. Break and retest. This dog's snoring like crazy. I think Tandy from Mozambique, we discussed this last week, this break and retest. So we would want to see like nice displacement, price comes back, retest, and then a nice green candle up. That would be a break and retest. Okay. You know what else I noticed, Gonzalo, is the area that you have identified as your point of interest here. It's an even number. It's 2190, and we know that even numbers are where big money likes to buy and sell from. They don't buy from 219250. They buy from whole numbers or sell from whole numbers. So that's interesting. Higher highs, higher lows. Price continues up. I'm just going to drop a fib on here for 50%. Oh, real rejection. Okay. That's interesting. So now we have high, low, higher high. Let's see if we can make a lower low. Potential breaker block. But I think we might take another run at this. We might hang around up here for a while longer, re-attempting this area here. That wouldn't surprise me. 2226 is yesterday's AM session low inside the 15-minute SIBI. $22.26. Inside the 15-minute. Okay. Well, if price can get above here, and it might thrash around here for a while. We have a wick right here, just below the 50% of this hourly SIBI. So it's a higher time frame. Yeah, but price is showing some weakness here, but I think it's going to have a few more attempts at this, because I think it does like the hourly, for sure, the hourly SIBI. It's 10:58. You know, we're kind of coming on to that time The lunch macro, 11:30 to 1:30. Expect a reversal. Now, if we were to get a breaker, it would probably play out over the afternoon. So like high, low, higher high, lower low, price comes back into the breaker and then drop. That's what I would look for a reversal. That's the unicorn signature move of a high quality reversal setup. But up till now, price is very bullish. There's no sign of reversal. There's no reason to anticipate that. Here's our high, here's our low. But I'm just hypothesizing that potentially this afternoon we could eventually get our breaker and then have a move to the downside. Thank you, Gonzalo. That's good to know. High volume nodes. I like that. I haven't heard that before. You can expect a quick reaction. Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's watch. And then after that, let's watch for this reaction. After that, I'm going to take off. I got to take Pi out for his afternoon walk, and then I think I'm going to come back. I want to be looking for a reversal sometime this afternoon. And sometimes the reversals start early, like sometimes the reversals start at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to come back for 1 o'clock. I'm not going to trade live. I'm not going to bring everybody back. But for those of you that watch the price action this afternoon or participate in it or whatever it is you do, we can kind of touch base on that again tomorrow morning. You guys can let me know, or even put in the comment section of this video kind of how your afternoon plays out. And if you guys can remember to like, share, and subscribe so I can reach more people and help me grow this channel, I would appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Another rejection. Gym time, fun time. What do you do at the gym, Gonzalo? Are you a weightlifter? Are you a cardio guy? Are you a weightlifter? What do you like to do at the gym? What does anybody like to do at the gym? What is everybody into in the gym? Weightlifting? I'd be interested to see if this becomes an inverted fair value gap. Here's our previous week high. That could be interesting. The previous week high is also a very interesting point of interest. Like, look how many times we tapped here to get above it. We're finally above it. Let's see if we reject off here and reject off the BISI. Weightlifter, outdoor guy, kayaking, ditto. Weightlifting is like, well, it's one of my passions for sure. Pilates, Pilates is hard. Oh my gosh. Pilates is like full body core, make you sweat. Pilates is awesome. Good for you, Mia. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get, I think we're gonna, I don't know. We may bounce around up here. These are really strong levels. Previous week high, see, we had this, we finally crunched above it. And then, as Gonzalo says, this area here with lots of node gnashing. And I'm mindful of this hourly SIBI being a draw. High, low, failed to make a higher high. I was going to take another run at it. Let's just go back and look again at what we're dealing with here. This is the area here. This is the area. So we have this wick. So above this wick, we've got, and we have wicked above this wick. Let me just make this bigger. Right? So we've wicked above this wick. We've taken out buy and sell stops here. But we also have just above, we have this wick that's come into the 1 hour SIBI. And this is a major area of imbalance here. So let's continue watching. This is where a lot of people, a lot of traders can get fooled thinking that price is ready to reverse. And you know, you you go short here and then you get your face ripped off because price is bearish, or sorry, bullish. And it still has the potential to draw up into this hourly. So this is the point where you need to be very, very careful. I had to learn my lesson the hard way. Man, I've had my face ripped off so many times. Like last year, I would constantly look for the reversal before the reversal was ready to happen. And now I patiently wait for a full-blown unicorn breaker block, 2 fair value gaps and opposing legs. That's what I wait for patiently. So this is a mitigation block right here, okay, because price failed to make a higher high. But again, these are very strong points of interest. So for a reversal, I need to see a breaker block. I need to see it fall. I need to see it come back into the range and then drop from there. And I know that's a process, but I can confidently say that I have learned from some mistakes, for sure. And reversals is one of them. There's nothing better than a great reversal when you anticipate it and you're patient and you wait for it. Okay, we may get an inverted fair value gap here. .24 seconds left on this candle. It's 11:08. See if we get an inverted fair value gap here. I realize this candle hasn't closed, but I'm just anticipating. See if we get a pullback into Mississippi. Again, we're right at the previous week high, right here. Still respecting this SIBI. Little wick above is okay, as per ICT. I know, nice little rejection there. Yay. I needed to put that higher. Again, going all the way back up into that SIBI. So price pushed up into the previous week high. Started to reject, but buyers stepped right back in. So I think there's going to be, this is a really important area, previous week high. It's 11:13. Okay, well, I think I'm going to close the stream. It's 11:13. I'm going to close the stream for now. So thanks for joining me this morning, guys, and for chiming in with your points of interest and contributing to the discussion. I appreciate that, and I know everybody does. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and let's try and grow this community. So I'll be back, but not live streaming this afternoon, just see if I can find something. And if not, I'll be back tomorrow morning. So look forward to seeing all of you guys then. So have a great day. Enjoy yourself at the gym and anything else you're doing today. Bye for now.